In March 2007, Dmitry Dey opened Google Earth and found a 287 meters square drawn across Kazakhstan's steppe with 101 mounds. No one knew who built it or why it was almost invisible from the ground. This is the mystery of the Turgai Earthworks. Dey was not an archaeologist leading a government expedition. He was a Kazakh researcher examining satellite images from home when the geometry appeared beneath his cursor. What he saw was too regular to dismiss. A square, crosses, rings, lines, and a three-armed figure occupied a landscape where the horizon usually erased every small detail. But the satellite view created a problem. If people had built shapes this large, why had almost nobody recognized their full design while standing beside them? Many elevations rise less than a meter. From nearby, they resemble ordinary patches of soil and vegetation. Only distance turns those fragments into deliberate geometry. The term geoglyph became popular, but researchers often prefer geometric earthworks. That careful name describes what can be proven without pretending that anyone already understands their purpose. The most famous complex is Turgai Square, about 15 kilometers east of Turgai. Its sides measure roughly 287 meters, while its diagonal reaches about 406 meters. Its outline contains 101 embankment mounds. Each is roughly 10 to 12 meters wide, meaning the smallest visible pieces are themselves larger than many rooms. 3 circular ditch-like forms lie north of the square. Another linear arrangement extends south, suggesting that the famous outline may be only one part of a larger designed complex. Imagine the work required. People cut and moved earth across hundreds of meters, mound after mound, until a precise figure spread over terrain that concealed the final result from every worker. Satellite imagery made the complete design famous, but the landscape was not entirely unknown. The Turgai Heritage Record cites archival evidence connected with surveys from 1909 and 1910. Earlier travelers could record individual elevations without seeing the enormous design. Dey's breakthrough was not finding the first mound. It was gaining the viewpoint that connected them. After Dey's 2007 identification, the Turgai Discovery Project began in 2008. Satellite searches expanded, and more shapes were cataloged across the depression. Reports eventually offered totals ranging from dozens of features to hundreds of objects. Those figures are not necessarily contradictory. Some count complexes, others shapes, mounds, or unconfirmed satellite anomalies. That distinction matters. A square made of 101 mounds can be called one site, one complex, one shape, or 101 separate objects, depending on the inventory. The growing catalog included the big and small crosses of Ashutasti, the ring of Turgai, and a three-armed form, often called the Turgai swastika, or triquetra. The word swastika describes the modern appearance of that arrangement. It does not establish what its builders called it, what it meant, or any connection to modern political symbolism. By 2014, researchers had presented the sites at a European archaeology meeting in Istanbul. Attention grew, and one claim began to dominate headlines. The earthworks might be 8,000 years old. Then, laboratory results disrupted the story. In 2015, grains buried beneath 2 earthworks released stored light, allowing scientists to estimate when those sediments had last seen the sun. The method was optically stimulated luminescence, or OSL. It does not read an inscription or name a builder. It measures the time since sampled mineral grains were buried away from daylight. At the Big Cross of Ashutasti, the published result was approximately 2.80 thousand years, with an uncertainty of 0.21 thousand years. That points broadly toward the early Iron Age. The Ring of Turgai produced a similar OSL age, about 2.75 thousand years, with an uncertainty of 0.20 thousand. Two tested contexts now pointed toward roughly 2,800 years ago, not 8,000. The results did not prove that every structure shared that date. They applied to the sampled contexts at two complexes in a landscape containing many different shapes and possible building phases. A square, ring, and cross need not share one builder, century, or function. The Turgai landscape may preserve separate episodes of construction, repair, reuse, and later intrusion. Some Turgai features have been hypothesized to be Neolithic, but the published OSL evidence located so far dates two tested complexes to roughly 2,800 years ago. The age of the wider group remains unresolved. The Ring of Turgai added another complication. An animal bone yielded a calibrated radiocarbon date around AD 42 to 85, centuries later than the OSL estimate beneath the earthwork. But researchers could not establish how that bone entered the mound. It might reflect later activity, repair, or intrusion. A laboratory date is reliable only for the material actually tested. Popular retellings collapsed those uncertainties into one dramatic number. Maps spun across screens. Every shape became 8,000 years old, and a complicated archaeological landscape turned into a single lost civilization story. The older estimate came largely from indirect cultural comparisons, project descriptions, official summaries, and popular reporting. No comprehensive laboratory program has securely dated the whole group to the Neolithic. Official descriptions have linked the earliest proposed structures indirectly with the Makanjar Neolithic culture. Indirect is the crucial word. Regional cultural presence is not a construction date for a particular mound. Excavations in the wider Turgai region have found Neolithic pottery and stone tools. They prove that people occupied this landscape long ago. They do not prove who raised Turgai Square. To date an earthwork, an artifact must come from a secure construction layer. A loose fragment on the surface could be older than the mound, younger than it, or moved there much later. Excavation also challenged another easy explanation. Studied mounds at Turgai Square and the small cross of Ashutasti revealed no clear burial chambers, occupation layers, or diagnostic artifacts. Ground-penetrating radar found no hidden stone or wooden structures in the tested areas. Some mounds may still relate to burial landscapes, but calling everyone a grave goes beyond the evidence. In April 2024, Kostanay Regional University reported early Iron Age Sarmatian burials in the Kara-Turgai Ring area. The discovery made a funerary connection possible, but not universal. The burials could be original, associated, or later additions to an already meaningful place. Until their structural relationship is published in detail, each possibility remains open. The same uncertainty surrounds the solar theory. At winter solstice, the sun moves toward the steppe horizon, and researchers test whether selected lines and crosses frame that motion deliberately. Some reported orientations appear suggestive, yet many structures are not clearly astronomical, and Turgai Square has no established solar or lunar alignment that explains its full geometry. A convincing astronomical case must test every orientation against the horizon, local terrain, and chance. Finding one attractive alignment after examining many shapes is not enough. The evidence now forms a clear sequence. Recognition in 2007, public expansion, laboratory dates around 2015, regional excavations, and new burial and alignment claims still awaiting fuller publication. What were the earthworks for? Ritual spaces remain plausible because of their deliberate form, scale, and domestic recognition as sacred sites. But no inscription or secure offering deposit explains a ceremony. They may have marked territory, hosted gatherings, commemorated the dead, or displayed coordinated labor. Each idea fits part of the evidence. None yet explains every square, ring, cross, and line. While researchers debated meaning, modern machinery posed a more immediate threat. In 2015, Kazinform reported that road reconstruction crossed and damaged the Turgai Cross complex. A World Bank safeguard document independently identified roads, borrow pits, construction camps, and access routes as risks. Low relief makes the earthworks easy to damage before workers recognize them. The qualities that preserved the mystery now threaten the evidence. A bulldozer operator sees a shallow rise. From above, that same rise could complete a structure hundreds of meters wide. Once the blade enters the mound, soil layers collapse, samples mix, and the sequence archaeologists need for dating disappears. A few seconds can erase evidence that survived for millennia. Kazakhstan recognizes named Turgai sites as sacred objects. However, the country's UNESCO tentative list, revised on 24 April 2026, does not include the Turgai Geoglyphs. Domestic recognition matters, but it does not guarantee identical legal protection, surveyed boundaries, or active monitoring for every reported mound. The inventory itself is still evolving. New fieldwork reported in 2025 described pottery, settlement traces, and possible winter solstice alignments. New OSL tests were still pending, so those claims remain leads rather than final answers. If securely dated construction material proves Neolithic, the chronology could change dramatically. Until publication, possibility cannot replace evidence, not even when the possibility would make a stronger headline. The alien explanation requires no serious consideration. Nothing about moving soil into large shapes demands unknown technology. The difficult question is how real steppe communities organized labor and meaning across this landscape. Nor did NASA discover the sites or declare them inexplicable. Satellite technology helped reveal their geometry. Archaeologists then did what satellites cannot: sample soil, excavate layers, and test competing claims. The strongest mystery is therefore not supernatural. It is archaeological. Why did people invest so much labor in designs that become clear only from far above or far away? Perhaps builders understood the design through measured lines, repeated units, and shared plans rather than an aerial view. Monumental architecture does not require its makers to see the whole structure at once. Their scale still signals coordination. Someone selected locations, maintained alignment, divided work, and persuaded communities to move large amounts of earth for a purpose important enough to endure. Yet, purpose remains the missing piece. A ritual ground, territorial marker, gathering place, solar station, memorial landscape, or several of these across different centuries could all leave similar traces. The next breakthrough will require secure samples from individual structures, published excavation contexts, standardized mapping, and tests that distinguish original construction from later reuse. It will also require protection before the answers arrive. Archaeology cannot date a layer after a road has mixed it, or map a mound after machinery has flattened it. For now, two tested complexes point toward roughly 2,800 years ago. Other structures may be older, younger, rebuilt, or unrelated. The landscape refuses to collapse into one number. Dmitry Dey's satellite discovery did not expose an alien secret or a solved ancient calendar. It revealed something better, a real human landscape whose evidence is stranger, messier, and more fragile than the legend. What do you think these enormous shapes were built to do?